wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello, good morning, happy Monday. Welcome to the KVJ show. How y'all doing?
Monday, woo!
Yeah,
I love Mondays.
Yeah.
I love them. I wear them well.
it's what I know. It's what I know. Come back in here, get back into a groove. Kind of excited today because for me, for the first time since the whole lockdown, the pandemic happened, at my house, like I got the house back to myself in the afternoon. Like everybody is going to be going back to
wherever they're going.
Yeah, so I used to have this groove. Like I would get home from doing the show, and then the house would be mine. It'd be me and the dog Coco. And so we would just kind of sit. I'd do my thing. I kind of had, it was my world.
Space.
Yes.
Freedoms.
Right.
No one's taking your stuff, moving your stuff.
Yeah, I was just able to get into a groove, and there wasn't anything to break up the rhythm. Now, my son Cannon is still going to be home today, but I got my mom and my mother-in-law and then my wife. They are going to be going back today, so they're 2 weeks out from like school starting, and so all that kind of stuff starting to get going. So they're going to be gone. So the house is kind of like going to be back to, minus Cannon, but he sleeps all day. So
Yeah, my house is going back to normal too. I had company since Thursday. Cousin Callie was in from Buffalo, and she brought her new boyfriend that nobody has met yet.
Okay.
To stay.
That's a big step.
It was real big because usually
Okay.
I don't have guests in my house that I haven't met sleeping and staying for a
Sure.
while.
Especially
but
during a pandemic.
yeah, it was just bizarre.
Did we like him?
We did like him. Here's the thing, though. He's
Here's the thing, though.
he's a dude. He's a bro. He's totally like big guy, tough guy, works out, muscles, all that. And he brought like this big masculine energy into my home. And I'm used to being the only one that brings the big masculine energy into my
Okay.
home. So it was kind of weird to have, so much.
Two dudes in one place.
Yeah. It was-
That's pretty funny. Did you guys outbro each other?
No, it was just an odd, weird dynamic. Everything in the world is weird right now, so of course this is weird too.
But what kind of energy did he bring? Was he like, I'm going to bed right now. Who's coming with me?
No, no. I mean, he's a dude.
All right.
He brings a big dude energy. Like he would, like when Rocco was getting out of line, he would like bow up to Rocco and like reprimand him and stuff. And
Really? Wait a minute.
it brought
Okay,
like
now
a
that's
masculine energy that
that's kind of
nobody
different. So
brings.
wait, the cousin's boyfriend is disciplining your child?
That's pretty,
Whoa,
that's kind of
that's
awesome.
Look, Rocco needs it, but it was just it threw the ecosystem off of my home.
How did Rocco respond to discipline?
Fear and oh crap, I better get in line.
Yeah, I think it works.
Really?
It does. It's just I wasn't expecting it, and it throws you for a loop.
What had Rocco done to get the reprimand?
Oh, just not quitting kindergarten 3 times in one day.
And
Not wanting to do his schoolwork.
and cousin's boyfriend laid down the law and said, you got to do your work, get on it?
Yeah.
And did he do his work?
Yeah, he
See?
would listen.
Okay.
He definitely would listen.
It works.
It works.
It works.
It was weird and different, but it works.
Will this change your approach with Rocco? Will it be more disciplined after seeing the cousin's boyfriend?
I mean, I always try. It's not like I don't always try. It's just it had a different resonating.
Was it just because he has muscles and he's large?
I think
Or
so.
Was his tone and his attitude?
I think just by his sheer presence, it brought a different energy to the conversation. And, where normally I'm like, Rocco, please stop. He's like, Rocco, stop. And it's just different.
And Rocco stopped.
And Rocco stopped.
Fear works. There's a reason why there's fear out there. It absolutely does get people in line.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I know those people, you can't discipline your kids with fear. That's not the way to do it. But,
Hang out with Rocco.
I think there's a balance of both. Again, I know I don't have kids, but I imagine even playing for a baseball coach, you don't want to play for somebody who's a complete tyrant, but you also do have to fear so slightly. If not, you'll run around people. You run them over.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Okay. So that was your weekend,
That was my weekend.
So obviously Rocco had a terrible weekend.
He didn't get away with very much.
Rocco at boot camp.
Wow. How about that? Did you do anything exciting, Jaybird?
I did not really.
Okay.
No.
Just kinda...
I hung out with Denny's and we played music together, but that's about that. That's the most exciting thing I did all weekend.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. See, I mean, so Monday, when you have a boring weekend, Mondays aren't really that bad.
Yeah.
It's just, well, that's what you do. So here we are. So hopefully you guys can dial us up, not only on the radio, but we're also on your YouTube right now. Just put us up on your flat screen TV. Just go to YouTube and find the KVJ show.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second, I will tell you about what happened to Lori Loughlin. She did indeed get her sentencing on Friday for her scam into the college admissions scandal. Before we go into that, Jessica Simpson talks a little bit about turning 40. What's it like for Jessica turning 40?
Okay.
I mean, I freaked out 2 months before I turned 40, not knowing like that age would even mean anything to me. But then it's like, oh, but 41, 42, like I've never calculated before my age. But it's I'm accepting it slowly.
Okay.
If you had to say 30s or 40s, what did you like? What have you liked better? I know you're not through your 40s yet, but do you think you like being in your 40s more than your 30s?
Well, they have different, challenges and fun parts of them. So I'm good with where I am.
I am too.
Yeah,
I really
fine
am.
with it.
Yeah.
I like the 30s. I like the 40s. I'm all good.
I think I'll start struggling in my 80s. You're like, oh man, my hip.
Yeah, I hear you.
Here's a little bit of Wesley Snipes. I guess the role that he believes got away back in the day was Coming to America.
He was supposed to play Daryl from Coming to America, and he didn't get it. So now he's actually going to get a role in the new Coming to America.
Okay.
I didn't get it. I remember in my bathroom in front of the mirror, the Denzel Washington tear running down my face. So sad. I thought my career was over. How could I lose that opportunity to work with Eddie Murphy? And then it came around again, because I hung in there. I believed.
Okay.
I'm glad to see Wesley Snipes back. He's been gone for a minute.
He was a major force in the early 90s in film. He did a ton of stuff.
He was awesome in the movie Major League as Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, I'd say late 80s, early 90s. He was an A-lister.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
And finally here, Lori Loughlin got sentenced to 2 months in prison, and her husband got sentenced to 5 months in prison. They will also have to pay hundreds of thousands in fines and do hundreds of hours of community service. No word on when they will start serving their sentences just yet, but that did happen on Friday. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
All righty, coming up here in just a couple minutes. I got to tell you, my highlight of the weekend was a show that somebody had recommended for me, and it might have been the best show that I watched all year long.
Whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I'll let you know exactly what it was coming up.
This is the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got on your mind today, Jay Bird?
Well, I got sort of some good news. I mean, it is good news.
Okay.
I haven't found a house yet.
Okay.
So I was waiting to hear back from my landlord for that extension.
Yes.
I got an extension. So
Okay, there you go. That's good news.
I'm not moving in with the Ralstons or the Sinickies.
Yet.
Okay.
We're good.
It could be happening.
But I still have been looking. I was looking over the weekend, and I went to I think 3 different houses, and one of the houses I went to was weird. As soon as I walked in there, it looked nice. It was interesting, but it was odd. As I walk in, I noticed that there's this like this fire alarm right by the door, and then there's this weird exit sign right by the kitchen door, and then we find out it was a former halfway house. Yeah, and you could kind of tell that it still had remnants of a halfway house. It looked nice, but it had a story to it.
It was just an air of sin and sadness.
Yes,
Yes.
it really was. It had a pool and everything, Virginia.
Huh.
But the pool had sadness. It was just
Yeah.
It was odd. And then there was this other house that I looked at, and again, it was nice, but you go in the backyard, and right by the backyard, it was connected to like a liquor store.
What?
And a hotel. So when you walked out in your backyard,
What neighborhood is this?
this is Palm Beach Gardens. It's actually a decent area, but a weird, just an odd situation.
A halfway house connected to a liquor store? What could be the problem?
No, those are two different houses. Those are two completely different houses.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Both of them had, yeah, you're right. Both of them had pools, but if you walked out in the backyard, everybody from the third story up could just see everything you were doing in your backyard. Like, I don't think this is going to be the one.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to be the one. So, still looking. There's just not a lot of there's not a lot of houses that I'm interested in right now, unfortunately.
The pandemic is affecting how many houses are on the market.
Well, some people just don't want to sell them right now.
Because they don't want people doing tours through their house.
Well, I told you about the one place in Lake Park that I really liked, and they had a buyer, and then the buyer didn't go through, and I guess they had a couple buyers.
This happens a lot. People are looking for houses before they get their financing all straight.
Yeah.
And then they want the house, and then they can't get the financing, and then they get the homeowner all excited that they're going to be selling to them, and then the deal falls through.
This happened twice to the person in Lake Park, and I guess through the second time she got pregnant, and she's just like, I don't want anyone else coming through here now until I have my baby. So that house went off the market.
Oh, wow.
I was getting ready to go look at it, and then my guy goes, yeah, she doesn't want anybody in there right now.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
But the one thing I am interested in, I'm interested in seeing how different my sleeping is going to be in a new house. Because I'm not going to lie right now, my sleeping's pretty bad. I do think it has something to do with maybe the ghost situation I'm in, but I do want to know, I really want to chart when I get into a new home, how different is my sleeping? And I want to do a sleep journal with that.
Okay.
Just to see really how much of a, I don't know, how much is this ghost really doing a lot of stuff to me, or is it all in my head?
And when you pack up all your stuff and you move, does the ghost just jump in a box?
That's a great question.
Let's ride shotgun with you.
Ghost in a box.
We kind of feel like the ghost knows I'm trying to leave, and it's freaking out.
Yeah, because it's like, I might not like the new owners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all messed up today. Ain't gonna be a good show for me, Coach.
It's Monday. It's all right. You got an excuse. Yeah, I think it's kind of a big thing now. My daughter watches a show that is all about putting properties on the market, but I think they're kind of like the high-end things. And I was even watching, they do this Hard Knocks, which is on HBO. Each year they pick an NFL team and they look at their NFL camps. And there was this guy who's a former player for UF, and he's now in the NFL, and he was looking for a home. And it's pretty fascinating as he's looking for a home. The person who's selling the house, they put his photos with like his kids all throughout the house. So when he walked through, it looked like he already lived there. They had photos of him and his children like all over the place, and he is big into the word love, and they even painted a wall that had like a mural of love on it to make it feel like he was already at home. I'm like, I mean, you wouldn't do that for any schlub typically moving into a regular house, but what they do when you're talking about multi-million-dollar properties, what it's like going and looking at that compared to what your experience is. I mean, they roll out, they're like, okay, this guy could be dropping $25-35 million on this property. So that's the kind of things they do when you roll in. It's not just your regular, okay, we're going to show this like it's a regular person.
That makes sense because, I mean, just finding out about the commission and how all this stuff works.
Yeah.
I never knew about any of this stuff before.
Right.
But yeah, if you end up selling, or someone buys a house for $5 million, that's going to be that's a lot of money for you as the real estate person.
Yeah, so those real estate people, what they do is they'll have champagne, they'll have all this kind of stuff. I mean, you go in there, it's just, it's quite an experience.
The thing that's been annoying is all of this house-looking stuff has made me kind of an adult in certain areas. I'll drive by houses now, and I'm looking at roofs and go, yeah, it's about an 8-year roof, and about 12 years they're going to need a new roof. I understand roofs now.
If you went to an open house and they had filled the house with like pictures of Bigfoot
and pizza, they had a pizza in the oven.
So if you were big, that's what it would be. They would have all these snacks out on the table.
It would get me. It would sway
hand
me.
pies as far as the eye could see.
It'd be very easy to know how to sell you a house.
I get it. That could be the difference between a house I'm on the fringe of getting. There was that one I told Virginia that I kind of liked. If they would have done that, I might have gotten it. Like,
this
feels
is
like
it.
home.
It feels right. What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, I'm going to have the kids tested. So I want to know where every one of the kids, Magnolia, her cousin, and Rocco, I want to know where they are. Like, because Magnolia's got to take the SATs pretty soon. And she told me the other day, she's like, Mom, I'm not really learning much with this virtual learning that we did last year. She doesn't feel good about the experience and about her retention and about her ability to go in and kill it on the SATs.
Yeah, it's a legit concern.
So tomorrow I'm taking all of the kids, Rocco, Magnolia, and Magnolia's cousin, who's a year older than her. And I'm going to get them all tested and figure out what exactly is your grade level. What are you at right now? And what do you need to be at to be able to take the SATs effectively and get a decent score?
I went to school with this kid who his parents spent a ton of money on SAT prepping and there was all these tests he could take before, and he Christmas treed the SATs and got the worst score. He wanted to rebel against his parents. And it totally messed him up for the school he wanted to go to.
What a dope.
Yeah, I know. It was a big thing.
You showed them.
Ended up going to junior college.
Dingbat.
Yeah.
What a dummy.
They spent so much money on it.
You really can. That's one of the things about South Florida. If you want to do these prep classes, they are available. You can find out all about and there's prep before the prep, which I'm learning about. You know, you don't just stick your kid in an SAT prep class. You have to have them tested ahead of time to see if they're ready. Because if you aren't on the level of the SATs, there's no use in even taking it.
That's what I did. I just went in there and took it. A lot of us did it that way. It was not an easy test.
Yeah.
So that fun starts with all of the children. Everybody's getting tested.
Do they still do the ACTs? Because it was when I was graduating, it was SATs and ACTs. Those were the two big dogs. And if you did bad on one, you could kind of if you blew the SATs, your ACTs could get you into another school. Is it still like that?
I don't know. I'm just learning. I'm older than you.
Yeah, you old?
I'm just getting into it with Mags and her cousin to try to figure all this out.
I had to take them on really early on a Saturday morning at Palm Beach Lakes High School. That's school I didn't go to.
It was Saturday morning.
There are people that are texting in saying that it's going to be better this year. They got more preparation. They're really prepared for the virtual learning. So it's not going to be as bad as it was at the end of last year because they've got that thrown at them.
Sure.
You know, it's like we're shutting it all down and here's what's going on. So hopefully it'll be a little bit better. But there's several schools that are going to be starting today. Like Indian River, they're going. St. Lucie County is getting going. I think maybe even Okeechobee gets going today.
I wonder how many kids are going to actually go into the school.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their policies are. They may actually be physically back in school at those because they don't have the same issues. And, you know, even the numbers for Palm Beach County, if you've not been tracking the numbers to see where the percent positive is, with Palm Beach County, they start next Monday. They are may not be doing the virtual long because yesterday positivity rates in Palm Beach County was 3.5%.
Ooh,
so it's under
that's
5.
Low.
Yeah, and they said under 5 for 2 weeks, and it's pretty much They may still give you the leniency of if you're uncomfortable not having to send your kid back right away, but for the most part, if we can keep that number where it is, Broward's at 4.3, Miami-Dade still has a little ways to go. They're at 8.5, but if you can stay 5 or below, and we can sustain that for 2 weeks, I can't imagine there's not going to be many kids that are not going to be inside the schools.
I see it working there, Positive K. I see it working.
I'm just telling you what the numbers are, man. That's the way it goes.
Please.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Oh.
Wouldn't it be so nice?
I was talking with Denny's. We just want it would be phase 2, right? Is that what we'd be going to?
Yeah. I mean, that's going to skip right to it. I think phase 2 is supposed to be 10% and 5% or less.
Is that almost back to normal?
It's getting really good. I mean, look, I'm not getting
don't get too
still
positive.
do what you do.
Yeah.
Do your wear the mask, social distance, all that kind of good stuff. Don't change anything that you're doing. But those numbers are really solid. That if we can make this the new normal, then yeah, life could go back. I mean, they're talking about even having the beaches wide open for the Labor Day weekend coming up.
Well, what would that mean? And I'm not saying we do a bar event or anything like that, but let's say we are at a low percentage and we have it for a month or so. It's under 5%. Mm-hmm. Would we be able to do a KVJ type event at that point? On theoretically?
Yeah, I don't know when you can actually put the flag down and say, okay, we've beat this.
Sure.
And, life is whatever life was.
I guess I'm just trying to prepare myself mentally. What does that mean? I'm not saying we would do an event, but could we?
Yeah, I don't know, if you got to be to say that, hey, coronavirus has been defeated, if it's got to stay under 1% or there's no cases or, I was just so focused on trying to get below 5% that I didn't even think, okay, what's the next step? I don't know. But that's the good news. If we can maintain that, there was just shy of 3,000 new cases yesterday.
All right.
Yeah. So some big old positives there.
You're awfully quiet there, Sinicki.
Yeah, I like positivity.
Yeah.
I just think it's so uncertain, We're trying to figure it out as we go, literally all of us, including the government officials. So it's cautious, it's optimistic.
Yeah.
But anytime you have a decrease in numbers, that's great.
Well, we're learning more about it, what I think is really making an actual effect and how to, live with it. And I think we're going to have to some extent, just realize it's going to be around for a little while and learn to live with it, and I think we're getting better at that. So I think the testing is going to be big too, and they've got the rapid testing in all 3 counties now. They just opened one up in Holiday Park and Broward, so they've got that as well.
That's good to know, because there's some people who get, they get some ailments or they get symptoms, but they don't necessarily have corona, but they also don't want to shut everything down either.
Yeah, that's the key is when people, and I think everybody around here is, dealing with it. And if you're not, you're going to have some where your body's just not going to feel right. I mean, there's still other things that are out there. And, when you get a little bit of a twinge of something, it's like, okay, do I have corona or do I not have corona?
Who do I have to tell?
Right. So to be able to go quickly and get a result in 2 hours to know, that's going to be very effective to say, okay, you need to sit on the sidelines until you're no longer contagious.
To me, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
To be able to get that right away.
Those are the kind of things that are going to start making a really big difference. And, I keep hearing stories. We got an email even today of somebody who had a family member. It was like what we were talking about last week. And it was one family member that kind of knew they weren't feeling well and they had pretty much all the symptoms of coronavirus, yet they still went along for the family gatherings, and they were the one person that didn't believe in wearing the mask and got everybody sick. Oh. And, that's just where you've got to have people be sensible and not be selfish. To realize if you're exhibiting those, you can get an entire family sick still. So if we can get to that point to identify that person, if people would #BeCool, and realize that you might have coronavirus, don't spread it to the other 14 people that are in your family you're going to see today, then that would be kind of nice. So, yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So the testing, all that stuff's going to be good. I got something really awesome to let you know about. I always love when people suggest something. Isn't it really cozy when you jump into a show, you're like, this show is going to be really good?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that feeling. And just last week, we got an email about, hey, you got to check out this show, 000 on Amazon Prime. It's really good. I want to say thanks to Ben Rice. He's the one that sent an email and suggested it. And I checked it out. It's kind of like a scripted Narcos. If you like cartel type things, then I think you would like this. It's very well done. Character development was very good. The thing that they did that was really interesting, when I first watch it, it all starts out and the whole opening is all in Italian. I'm like, this is an Italian show. So they had the subtitles. But what the whole show is it's kind of a narco drama, but you got Italians, you've got Mexicans, and then you got Americans. And so they will legit do the language of whomever it is at that time. And so it's subtitles. So, a third of it you get English, but then the other 2/3 you're dealing with Spanish and Italian. So you got subtitles. I'm like, that's kind of interesting that you've got one show in 3 different languages.
It sounds exhausting.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I'm okay. Maybe it's just we're seeing more subtitles as the world is kind of getting that way, but it's called 000. And it had a really good cast, really good acting, good drama, solid. So thank you very much for that. I would give it a solid A. So I watched that in 24 hours time.
Well, you're getting me interested
over the
over
weekend.
Here. All right.
Yeah, if you like that kind, if you like narco dramas, then I think without a doubt you should like this.
I finally started watching James Bond last night for the first time.
Okay.
And
which one are you watching?
It was the one with Pierce Brosnan, and I shut it off. I didn't like it.
Yeah, you may not be a Bond guy.
I don't. The one I put up, everyone, all the comments on Twitter were, "Bird, you're starting off in the wrong one. You got to start with this one."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So I might have picked the wrong one.
Yeah,
and it was the one on. It's on Netflix for free right now. I have it right here. It's called "The World Is Not Enough" with Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, okay.
Do you see that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've seen all of them, but
You
they're all,
have?
I think yeah.
Wow.
I don't miss a Bond movie, but I know what they are.
All right. I just got to get back into it.
Yeah, it's like if you like that genre, then I think you'll be into it.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
Well, in 2020, the year of insanity, I mean, when else would you expect double hurricanes? Well, I mean, when does that happen? That's just crazy.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
It's like, wait, what?
It's unbelievable, but anything is believable in 2020, though.
Yeah, you're like, no, this can't be happening. Oh, wait, 2020. I guess it can.
Yeah, anything is possible in 2020. Just a very bizarre year. Hurricane Marco, Tropical Storm Laura. I was kind of looking at one point, it looked like they were just, one was going to say, oh, I'll take the left side, you take the right side. And then it looked like they were dancing together. And they're like, maybe we'll go hit the exact same spot. So, I didn't know what exactly was going on here, but this is, I guess, the first time you've ever had 2 storms at the same time dancing in the Gulf. So that's just kind of odd.
That sounds like a country song, "Dancing in the Gulf."
Yeah, it does,
like
doesn't
that.
it? Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to be like anything crazy because it looks like, Marco is going to be chilling out a little bit, and then you got the Laura. I don't think anything's going to be over a Cat 2 from what I was seeing today. But Marco is predicted as of 11 p.m. last night to hit on or near the Louisiana coastline by, I guess, tonight. And then Laura is going to be making landfall near the Louisiana-Texas border on Wednesday. So
you got to watch out for the Laura one because I'm just telling you.
He has an ex-girlfriend named Laura.
Lauras are
Right.
a little, they're a little psycho.
So I guess maybe the same area might feel a little bit of the remnants. Can you imagine dealing with one and then 48 hours later having to deal with another one?
Well, in Louisiana, they're telling people, look, prepare to be basically dealing with this all week because the time in between the 2 storms is not going to be enough time for them to get out there and try to restore everybody's power and get everybody. So they're just saying, look, you're going to be in it all week.
Jeez.
If you had two category 2 storms hit at the same time, does that turn into a category 4? Just something to think about.
What would you rather
Simple
deal with?
math would say yes.
Exactly. I'm a simple man, Virginia.
Would you rather have 2 2s or 1 4?
2 2s.
1 4. Definitely one for 2 twos. No, that everyone's gonna board up twice, and everyone's gonna panic twice.
You don't. You just don't unboard. They're so close that you just kind of assume that they're just going to be a week of BS.
You're right, but you're still wrong.
You're right, but you're still wrong. It feels like 2 twos is best, so this doesn't feel like. I mean, it sounds terrible, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a nightmare situation, right?
You hope.
It's just annoying.
I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of water, which is bad for New Orleans because, in case you don't know, it's below sea level.
They did get those levees together, right?
Yeah, so
They spent time on that?
hopefully all of their levees are functioning and their pump stations, which continues to be an issue. They've already said 99 out of the 99 pump stations are operating well.
Okay.
So
Well, that's solid.
cross your fingers.
Yeah.
And your heart.
And your heart.
All righty. Got some birthdays today. Happy birthday to Rupert Grint, Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter movies. Boy, you know you're getting old when you're looking at the Harry Potter kids are now in their 30s. He's 32. Wow. Potter kids are in their 30s. Dave Chappelle turns 47 today. Vince McMahon from the WWE is 75.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute.
Well, this guy is still into it. Like, you know, I was reading a story today about it. Like, you know, Gronkowski's kind of getting into it a little bit. And there was a thing where Gronk was supposed to jump from the top rope. And he was nervous. He's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, Gronk already had a bad back. And Vince McMahon's like, it's so easy. Vince McMahon at 74 got up on the top rope and jumped off and did it. And it's like, see? I mean, that's all there is to it. He's like, I'm 74.
Vince McMahon, there's stories of Vince McMahon deliberately picking fights with wrestlers to see if they would fight back behind the scenes, whether on an airplane. And if you didn't fight back, if you didn't fight Vince McMahon back, he lost respect for you and you noticed you're not on the card as much. That's the rumor.
Really?
Yeah,
That'd be a fascinating story if they haven't done a really in-depth, true biography of that guy and that family.
Yeah, he's really a macho dude. I mean, I know,
Yes.
shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you, what did they call it? Toxic masculinity?
There was some of that behind
He's
the
the
scenes.
face of
Yes.
it.
That guy could write a book. That should be the name of his book. Also, got to say happy birthday, 10th birthday to Larissa from Dad, Kimmy, and Alex. Also, happy 16th birthday to our sweet Lily from Mom, Dad, Kelly, and Daisy. And a birthday shout out to Stephanie L. from the YouTube Nationers, turning 32, forever 29. Enjoying a 4-day weekend. Cesar sent that in. Got a birthday you want to get a shout out for? Do it on the KVJ Show. Send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. All right, well, here we go. It's Monday. It's tough to already, like, kind of get it going on a Monday. We got our crew. We're all just kind of trying to fire it back up. And just, oh, my goodness. Wow. Just what a time, huh?
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time, too. Don't say I'm not having a great time. Yeah, we're all just trying to get it going now.
We are all trying to get it going.
Okay, so this is the big test to see exactly how fast you were thinking and right here and now. Think fast. Got Virginia, we've got Jay-Bird, we've got Denny's in here. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to throw them at you, and Suits will help me judge. We're looking for something that makes a little semblance of sense in each category. We'll get a point for you if you can do it. All right, here we go.
Who's the champ, Coach? Is it the witch?
I don't know.
I have the hat.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
We're going to give it to her.
Because we can't remember.
Okay, here we go. Virginia the champ. First round, think fast. A popular activity during a pandemic that starts with the letter C.
Cards.
Cards.
Yeah, cards. That definitely would do it. Nice job, Danny.
What'd you say, Bird?
Cuddling.
Cuddling, okay.
Yeah, that works too.
You could do
He
that.
heard himself screaming cuddling.
Yeah, dude, tone it down. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, camping, that would work as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a lot of things in there.
Canoodling.
Okay. All his are physical activity. You know, this guy needs a touch of somebody.
So bad.
He's got skin hunger. Okay, next up, a type of spider that starts with the letter B.
Brown recluse.
Oh, Virginia knows about spiders.
It's on your mind.
It is, and on my arm.
Black widow.
Oh.
Okay, a necessary item for every gardener that starts with the letter S.
Shovel.
Denny said
Shovel.
shovel.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll go with that. Denny's gets a point.
Just edge you out. Slightly.
Okay, next up, a protective piece of clothing that starts with the letter A.
Armor.
What did you say?
Armor.
Armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bird gets on the board.
Woo.
Denny's got the lead 2-1 over Virginia and Jay Bird. Let's see if Denny's can hold on to the victory here today. Think fast. A dangerous profession that starts with the letter T.
Titanic driver.
Titanic.
Titanic operator.
Tornado
Telephone
chaser.
wire man.
What'd you say? Telephone wireman? What'd you say, Denny's?
Tornado chaser.
Tornado chaser.
Titanic.
I mean, it was dangerous once.
Yeah, I think are we gonna give it to Denny's?
Titanic operator.
Titanic
operator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an actual job that's offered today.
Y'all, they didn't make it. Newsflash.
Neither did your answer.
Yeah. It sunk
What
too.
sunk faster?
The answer sunk faster than Titanic. Titanic took a minute.
Oh.
Trapeze also. That's
yes.
a dangerous profession. Starting with T.
Tiger hunter.
Yes.
I'll shut up.
Okay. Okay, Denny's, you will win if you can get one of these correct. Next one, something you might find on the water that starts with the letter R.
Rottweiler.
Riverboat.
Oh, riverboat.
Denny's. Man, we'll take
Good
that.
job,
We got
Denny's.
a new champ.
Woohoo! Nice job.
Sounded like a full football you just threw at him.
Good job,
I
Denny's.
think it's heavy. That looks nice on you. Look at that. We got a new champ at Think Fast. Is anybody else getting odd things from Amazon? You know, it started off with those odd seeds that were going around and, you know, remember people were getting that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
And I guess it was some kind of like, you know, tracking something or other. There's some
It was
kind
a
of scam that they're
scam.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to somebody that thought they had ordered a full cornhole game. You know that thing with the board and the bean bags and all that kind of stuff?
Sure.
And it was like on an Instagram ad. And she went in and she bought this, what she thought was cornhole. And then when she finally gets the package from Amazon, it turned out to be just one single golf ball. She said, what the
What?
heck is this?
Did she read the fine print? Was there something weird in the?
Well, I think what it is, it's kind of like a bait and switch kind of thing, that there's a lot of this, because everything's mail order now with the pandemic, and a lot of this stuff is kind of scammy, and I just keep hearing stories, and if you go on and check some platforms, people are on there talking about, yeah, I went on to Amazon, I got something really bizarre, like it's not what I ordered at all. There's a lot of scams that are going on.
I mean, I went on Instacart and I ordered apple turnovers, and they just brought me actual apples, which was a great disappointment.
Oh.
You're thinking you're getting an apple dessert, and it's the actual
The actual apples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not what I ordered.
So this is kind of happening where either one, there's just a mix-up in communication, or two, a lot of it is, I think, bait and switch, kind of like they sell you something. Because you think about it, all these different platforms have ads. It's so easy to just click, 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 and then boom, it's supposed to be coming to your door, and you get all excited. You get that little rush, but then what shows up at your door is not what you thought that you had ordered. Anybody else noticing this kind of bizarre stuff going on? If you try to order something from Amazon or another delivery service and it turns out to be something that's odd, and anybody else get those seeds? I know that if you got those, you were supposed to report those.
I love packages.
I think a lot of people do. And, you know, that's what's gone on now since the pandemic went. In fact, I was just looking at some of the big companies, how much they're up. Amazon's and Walmart, like it was like 75% increase
Dang.
on Amazon and Walmart. Anybody who is like one of those big box retail places, that has the delivery on top of it, their business is booming.
My sister from Oregon sent me a secret box. I didn't know what it was. So I'm like, oh, cool. What is this? Vintage He-Man from 1983.
Now, see, that's cool. That's exciting.
I had no idea what it was. Opening it up was great excitement.
Yeah, when you get that is a lot of fun.
Well, you never know what you're gonna get. If
Yeah.
if it's a box from Oregon, you're like,
It could be scorpions.
It could be weed.
I mean, that'd be
Sounds
awesome.
like a lot. Yeah, that is. Would be awesome. Yeah, so I'm just curious if this happened to anybody else. If it's happened to you, let us know. 877-979-WRMF. 877-979-9763. A lot of people are unfortunately finding out the hard way that you got to watch what you buy online sometimes. There are so many different advertisements all over the place. You go onto social media and they're all over the place. And so you order a product, you get all excited that something's going to show up, and it's not even what you would expect. I was talking to somebody, thought they got a cornhole game. When it shows up, they get one single golf ball. And they're like, well, that's not what I ordered. Where's my cornhole game?
That doesn't make any sense.
And then you can't get a hold of anybody. And it's just like the scams that are going on right now. That's one market and industry that has really jumped is you're getting bizarre things that either you didn't order or you're not getting what you thought you had ordered. Kelly's on here from Lake Worth. You thought you had ordered a sewing machine. What wound up happening here, Kelly?
Well, I ended up, it never came, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong, so I contacted the company. They sent me the tracking information, and what ended up happening is they put 2 paper face masks in my mailbox, and they had the exact time, and my security camera caught it. 2 face masks. And I had ordered a sewing machine, same company.
Really? So the bait and switch was you got the 2 masks instead. So how does that happen? You paid for the sewing machine and everything, and all it shows up is 2 masks? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow.
I ended up contesting it through my credit union, and I got my money back. But it was just so bizarre. Like, how does that happen? I ended up Googling the company, and the same thing happened to a lot of people. So it was their thing.
Yeah, that's just kind of it. I think that we're just so quick to order stuff. And, you know, if you see it on a platform like an Instagram or TikTok, I know it does a lot of advertising and things
You think
too.
it's real.
Yes.
That happened to me too. I ordered a mosquito killer. It never showed up. And then I did some research, and it was a company that was advertising on Instagram about this cool mosquito killer. And that's what they do. They just take your order and they never fulfill anything. They just take your money.
That'd be the kind of gift you'd want is a mosquito killer. I got you, Mama. I know something just right up your alley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mosquito killer.
I love it.
Good luck ordering one, though. Yeah, somebody texted in and said, yeah, you really got to check, see who you're buying from. There's an option to do that on the right side of the page before you purchase. Fake sellers will list at a cheaper price than the reputable ones, and Amazon will automatically add the cheapest item to the cart. Happened to a friend of mine who sold T-shirts on Amazon. Chinese companies would copy his shirts at a lower price and list under his item. Just make sure you're checking which seller you're buying from and check their reviews.
Wow.
The reviews are really big on any of those. eBay, Amazon, especially when you're buying the clothing stuff.
Yeah. There's just a lot of bizarre things that are happening. Somebody said, yeah, I purchased an extra large dog pool, and when it showed up, it was only 10 inches wide.
So you got a hot dog pool.
Dang.
A dog pool. That sounds awesome.
Extra large.
Somebody else said, I bought an inflatable hot tub, and I got a 10-cent ring.
Aww.
Yeah. And somebody else ordered a water slide, and what showed up in the mail was a pair of dirty socks.
Oh. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? That's what's going on, though.
I wonder how much that inflatable hot tub was. Did they say the price?
No price. No,
Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, they sell those right now. It's a big hot item, actually. Inflatable hot tubs are big.
Are they low budget? Are they like a plastic pool that I grew up with?
No, it's a little nicer than that.
All right.
You can get nice ones, but be careful.
I'm afraid I'm going to order it. I'm going to get, a pocket full of beans.
You might. Somebody else texted in and said, I ordered a baby stroller from Walmart and received a wheelchair. That's not exactly what I needed. Yeah, bizarre stuff. So has this happened to you? You can let us know, 877-979-WRMF. Maybe you got some good information for somebody. Hit us up, call or text right now, the KVJ Show. Crazy what people are ordering and expecting to see in the mail, and they get something completely different. Somebody said, I ordered diaper rash cream, and I got a used dress.
That's so gross. I mean, the person that ordered, I forget what they ordered, but they got dirty socks instead. That ain't cool, man.
No, that is not cool. It's crazy. Yeah, somebody said never buy from Facebook, Insta, or Twitter ads. They're almost exclusively scams. And if you see an item that looks awakening, swatch it at Amazon. They vet their sellers. So Amazon is, especially somebody said Amazon Prime, that is a way to go if you don't want to be a victim to one of these now mail order scams.
What's weird is that they still send an item. It's the wrong, it's gross and it's weird, but they still take the time to actually put it in the mail and send it. You would think they wouldn't send anything and just ghost you.
Well, I think it's all about tracking, and they get legitimacy on that, so there's a reason for their effort to even do that.
That makes sense.
That's why the seed thing was an issue that had happened, because it was supposed to be other things, and they were just putting something that had a tracking number.
Oh, so they're just looking around their gross apartment and throwing socks and underwear. Oh, man, that ain't cool.
That's so uncool.
Yeah, somebody said I also ordered the inflatable hot tub, and I got a plastic toy car. Not even like a Matchbox. It cost me $40.
Well, I'm going down this road of, I'm down the rabbit hole of inflatable hot tubs right now because they sound very peaceful, and they are affordable, Kevin. But am I going to order the wrong thing? What's a reputable...
Are you going to get dirty socks?
Yeah, and are inflatable hot tubs, me and Virginia were talking, is that low budget? Are you kind of just putting paint on a piece of poop?
Paint on I don't know. I've never painted a turd.
It's a figure of speech we say.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
I think it could be fun. It's like an adult baby pool with bubbles.
Yeah.
Look, it's very pandemic friendly.
Every website I go to looks very shady to me now.
Well, that's just it. I think there's so much stuff where, people are. We've been looking for ways to entertain ourselves during the pandemic, and you can't go out to buy anything. So this mail order stuff is happening. Of course, we know in South Florida, the scam capital of the world, that they're going to catch up with you. But this is for everybody. Somebody else said, yeah, I ordered the cornhole game, and I got the golf ball also.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a racket.
So that's what's going on. I think they make it so difficult to try to get anything back that people just give up.
Order your cornhole on eBay, y'all. eBay ain't going to do you dirty like that. eBay, they have a very good percentage of mailing the right stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about eBay, too, is the sellers are all rated, because when you buy something from somebody, you can go on there and say how your experience was. And if it's somebody with a really bad rating, you don't buy from them.
Exactly. And they take their ratings real serious, a little too serious, to be quite honest with you.
Ruben's on here from Boca. Ruben, it says here you ordered a golf net. What did you get instead?
A 2-cent golf ball.
Did you order a golf net and you get... Wow.
Yeah. You never receive the item, but they send you, once you inquire, they send you a tracking number. Hey, you received it, a couple of weeks ago. Then my wife said, didn't you receive that golf ball? We were walking our dog. We received some package, and it was not even like a TaylorMade or Nike or nothing. No, just a plastic 2-cent golf ball.
That's so messed up, man.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's kind of like you think.
I get PayPal, so that's at least a positive. If you do the PayPal credit card, which normally, has a guarantee there, I sent them the email and everything, and they gave me my money back.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the way you got to do it. You got to do it through at least a reputable place that can get your stuff back.
I mean, this inflatable... You can't get a pool, Mama, but we can get this inflatable jacuzzi.
That's depressing.
No pool. They sell these jacuzzis at Walmart, by the way, at a very cheap price for a jacuzzi.
Okay. Good luck. I doubt that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, somebody's saying that Etsy is good as well as Amazon. So you got to, I guess, just any these Twitter ads and Instagram that you're seeing, just don't go for it.
Etsy.
Research the seller and look into the ratings and read the reviews because it's scary out there.
Etsy's got some really bizarre, cool, unique stuff on there. Mm-hmm. Good for Bigfoot lovers.
Okay.
Etsy is.
Etsy is for Bigfoot lovers.
It's good for them.
Okay. Got any call 'em outs today to let us know about? You can hit us up here, 877-979-WRMF. Jibber, I know you got to call them out here today. Somebody stole something from you of value.
I usually don't care about material possessions, but this one definitely kind of hurt my heart a bit.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. Someone stole.
Yeah.
Are we going into this now?
Yeah, you can tell me all about it.
So my Aunt Ann had this cart. She always would put everything in this cart, and she would roll it. And she always would always have like a little joke about her and her cart. And when she passed away, I ended up getting her cart. And somebody took it out of my little area yesterday, and I'm hoping now I'm going to see if anyone in my area has a camera to see who stole it. But they legit stole that cart from me, and I love this thing. Every time I use it, I always like talk to Ann with it.
Where'd you leave it?
In my little courtyard area.
They came in your courtyard?
Yeah, it was outside. It was
through that door.
It was outside my courtyard area because I was taking my trash out and I put it outside by my fence and near my truck, and someone grabbed it when I wasn't looking.
They probably thought it was trash.
No way. It wasn't. They didn't. It was its own little area. They would have to go out of their way to take my thing.
Grand Theft Cart.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm gonna find some camera around there, some video, see who took it, because they had to deliberately take it.
Well, there are some people that just they think if something is out anywhere that it's just like open season, and like these trash pickers. It's just kind of crazy.
That's true. They might have thought it was something that was just left out.
But it was in my area, though. I hear you. I'll show you where it was, and you'll understand that it was in
not
a spot,
in the courtyard, but outside
like
the
right
courtyard.
by, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta watch. It's kind of crazy, actually. This is very odd because my wife has always been somebody who she never keeps anything around. She's always just. Like stuff, I'm like, don't throw that away. That's like still good. That still has value. And now she's completely like done a 180, and now she's going around. In the last week, she's pulled 2 different items out of people's garbage and is trying to refab them, which is the exact. I'm like, so why is it that you would always throw everything away and now you're digging through people's garbage? She brought home a table that didn't have a tabletop to it.
What?
And yes, it's just the legs. She brought this home the other day, and I'm like, what is this?
She brought home 4 legs?
It looks like it's from the 90s, and I'm like, this thing looks terrible. She's like, oh, this is going to be great. She's like, I ordered a $20 glass top for it from Amazon. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm like, this is something you would throw away. Like, why are you going out and grabbing other people's garbage and bringing it in?
Corona, bruh.
My mom would do that as a kid. She would find something in the trash, like this god-awful looking table, then she'd paint it and would have it in the living room. Like, Mom, this doesn't look that good, by the way.
Yeah, some people do it and they love it. I think, and I don't have an issue with it per se. It's just that my wife was so the other end of the spectrum, and now all of a sudden, in just 1 week,
she's flipped on you.
Completely flipped. She's gone again from one end of the arc to the complete other end of the arc in a matter of 3 days. And I'm like, what is going on with you?
That's confusing, man, because you don't know what you're going to get.
I don't know what I'm going to get. Like, you think you know somebody. I'm like going, yeah, she throws everything away. She doesn't believe in keeping anything. And now
she's dumpster diving.
She's going through, she takes walks every day to like look through everybody's garbage now. She's turned into a trash picker.
To defend the queen on this, I get it. There's a thrill of the hunt, and when you find something awesome, it's a cool feeling.
I guess it's a bug and it bit her.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is the new thing. I'm coming home and finding all kinds of random things. I don't know if I got a bizarre package from Amazon or if it's my wife's been digging through somebody's garbage again.
We were very garage sale people and looking dumpster dive people. That's how we grew up. And my mom and Ann really had a knack for finding some stuff in the trash. I think it was their upbringing too.
Yeah,
I think
I know some people are really into it. They'll go and they'll find stuff, and that I get. It's like a hobby. They'll find it, they'll refab it, and they'll post it up online and sell it because you can do that.
Yeah.
That all makes sense. This doesn't make sense to me.
You know, it doesn't make sense to anybody.
Yeah. It's trying to figure it all out.
Good luck.
Yeah. Anybody else got any call them out? You can let us know. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. I got this, and this is really probably a good note for anybody. It is a call them out for the weak link in our quarantine. It says, hey, I was listening to the show on Friday and Kevin was reading emails from people who were worried about their family members, putting them at risk for COVID. Each one of them has every right to be worried. In July, one of my family members gave 8 adults and 2 toddlers in the family COVID. We went on a beach staycation, and the family member in question must have felt that masks were not necessary at the beach hotel. For a week, he had to be constantly reminded to put it back on. When we returned, he said he had a cold and he didn't feel well. Well, 2 days later, myself, my husband, my sister-in-law, her son, my 70-year-old mother and father-in-law, and 2 more members of the family all felt sick. It spread like wildfire. We all tested positive. Most of us had mild symptoms, and we were so lucky to get through it with only congestion, fatigue, and aches. My 4-year-old son had to be tested for his preschool, and he was positive too. He had 1 day of a low fever and vomited. We spent about a month in quarantine and losing my sanity. This was way worse than the symptoms of COVID. Thanks to your show, my husband and I stayed in touch with the outside world and managed to laugh through the stress of it all.
Oh, man.
The moral of the story is you need to really trust the people in your circle, and if one of them slips up, you have to make sure you can forgive them. We know who gave it to us because he admitted later on that he had no taste or smell on the beach vacation.
Oh, boy.
That's just, I mean, and that's the guy that doesn't want to wear the mask. He goes into it, he's like, yeah, I can't smell or taste.
And I'm not going to wear a mask.
And I'm not going to wear a mask. And he winds up getting, how would you be able to easily forgive the guy that did that? Because you can't claim ignorance at that point. It's been all over the news, right? That it's taste and smell.
That's
and
the thing.
Then he doesn't want to wear a mask, and you've got people over the age of 70 in the family.
Yeah, I mean, I give him crap.
I mean, how upset are you with that guy?
It's just not fair because, I mean, he's the one that should have been wearing the mask. Everybody else on the vacation was wearing the mask. Come on, dude.
I can't taste anything.
Yeah, and I'm not going to wear a mask? Like, dude, what are you doing, man? That's just crazy. That's the kind of stuff that'll, I guess fortunately everybody in the family made it through, but I mean, imagine if somebody got really sick from it.
Scary stuff.
How tough would that be to forgive that person?
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Legendary Palm Beach County actor Burt Reynolds back in the day did a movie called Cannonball Run. It was a big movie back in the day.
We watched it a lot growing up.
Yeah. It's apparently a thing. You know, Cannonball Run is you're trying to set like land speed records, avoid being pulled over for speeding. And some people still do this Cannonball Run. In fact, during a pandemic, this is a great time to attempt it. There were these guys out there with fewer cars that you drive from New York to LA as fast as possible, and 2 guys just did it in 25 hours, 39 minutes in an Audi, modified to look like a cop car. Well, this seems like all the way illegal, huh?
Wow. Is that how they got away with it? Cops thought it was a cop car and didn't pull it over?
That's like the real movie. They do an ambulance to get away with it.
Ah.
Yeah, and their average speed, they say, was about 110 miles an hour.
Oh, my God. That's average?
That was their average speed, 110 miles an hour, and that's how they were able to do the U.S. coast to coast in less than 26 hours.
I love that movie. Cannonball Run 2, not so much. Part 1, awesome.
Okay. All right. We'll go check that out. Other interesting things happening. Yep. It's 2020. We got a pandemic going on and
double hurricanes.
We got an asteroid that some people are talking about. this asteroid, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It has a 0.41% chance of making impact with the Earth on November 2nd. And by the way, the next day is the presidential election. Boy, could you imagine that? But it's only 6.5 feet in diameter. So it's basically like there is a rock cow that is hurtling towards Earth.
Okay.
And there's a slim chance on top of that, like 99% chance that it's not going to hit Earth. But people love the headline. Asteroid hitting the day before the presidential election, you know.
We do have a lot of asteroids coming close. One of these days, our luck's going to run out.
Yeah, it is. And you
Can it
figure
just-
if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be in 2020.
Please just let it hit me right in the forehead. Please.
Right.
Quick.
Take me out. Let's end all
But
this.
the week before, we're going to have a great party.
Well, this is kind of odd. There's a taxidermist in England who is always inventing weird stuff. Well, now he has created a spring-loaded stuffed rat's leg to give high fives to people who miss high-fiving during the pandemic.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
A spring-loaded taxidermist rat leg?
Yep. So if you want a high five, you hit a button and it shoots up and you can high five it.
Okay.
People are getting weird, man.
This
people were
guy's
weird before the
weird.
pandemic. The pandemic's making people more weird.
Oh, if you're a man that does taxidermy, you are already weird.
Doesn't even make any sense to me.
Doesn't even. What? They say they got a big swingers festival. It's going to be happening in the UK this weekend. Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
But here's what they're doing to make it corona friendly. It's a swingers festival that has banned sex. So if you show up to this thing, you have to partake in non-sexual activities and conversations.
That's no fun.
Oh, it's going to lead to sex.
Yeah, you can't tell people that.
That's what they're saying.
There's no way.
Sex.
Good luck.
It's not going to happen.
They say the pandemic has also led to a major plastic surgery boom. Guess it makes sense because now people work from home and it's a lot easier to recover. Otherwise, before you go, I got to take vacation, this and that. But if you're working from home, you can hide.
It's a great time to recover from surgery.
Yeah. So they say a lot of people are doing that. So plastic surgery is booming during the pandemic, they say.
Well, they were off for a good 2 months. Because remember, all the surgical centers were shut
Right,
down.
yeah.
Even elective surgery got shut down. But now it's back in full swing, baby.
Right, I bet.
I can get my butt implants now. Finally have a butt.
It's time to do it, yeah.
I need to get a butt. I want to be like Kevin.
I can only do it one cheek at a time, though.
Yeah, I'd do anything for just one cheek.
Just one cheek. You look more like a camel.
That wouldn't look weird.
Yeah.
Put it down the middle.
Every seat you sit down, you look all lopsided.
There's a guy in England that proposed to his daughter's ex-boyfriend. That seems like that would be an awkward situation.
What?
I assume dad's gay, and he's hoping that her ex-boyfriend is open to new options.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That is messy.
That does sound a little messy. 27-year-old guy named Herbert McClellan went to a Speedway gas station in Clearwater about 2 a.m. last Tuesday. And when the clerk was distracted, he reached over the counter and stole $102 worth of lottery scratchers. Then he came back to the store a few hours later to cash in on the $30 prize he just won with one of them. But the employees are like, oh, wait, I know you, dude.
You're the guy that just stole these very same lottery tickets. Boy, are you stupid.
Yes, he was arrested for petty theft and dealing in stolen property. They say there's a Democratic candidate running for mayor in Sumter, South Carolina that thought it'd be a great idea to fake her own kidnapping to try to win votes.
No one ever gets away with when they fake their kidnapping.
Instead, she was arrested and charged with conspiracy and filing a false police report.
Girl.
Yeah, they say she filmed herself being kidnapped, beaten up, and robbed in a Facebook Live video.
Oh, my God.
How'd they figure out that it was fake?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Was the acting so bad?
Wait a
Well,
minute.
wait. The kidnappers let you roll on Facebook Live?
And then you look at her friends list, and 3 of the kidnappers are in her top 8.
After she claimed to have been kidnapped, she told police that she was assaulted and kidnapped by an unknown man during an attempted robbery. She also said the unknown man broke her car windows. She's still in the race with 5 other candidates and is yet to drop out. So who knows? Maybe it'll actually win her the candidacy.
They always go too goofy with their details. Just keep it simple with your fake kidnapping story.
It's the best way to do it.
Yeah, they add on too many details.
There's a guy who got arrested in Immokalee after vigilantes caught him with a fishing net. How about that? These 2 men witnessed this 18-year-old trying to break into a car, and they stopped him by throwing a cast net over his head and then pinned him down until the cops arrived.
I love it. That
smart
sounds
is
very
that?
Scooby-Doo.
It does, doesn't it? They always caught him in the old big old fish nets, didn't they? Last week, some thieves broke into a ninja museum in Japan and stealthily stole about $10,000 from a safe. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of crime I want to do. Nobody gets too badly hurt.
I don't know, man.
The
They
museum.
say these guys had like ninja-type skills. They were in and out in just 3 minutes.
Wow.
Undetected.
Dog, I've been taking karate on YouTube.
Dude, I don't think you can get in and out of a studio without being detected.
That's not true. I take your challenge.
There's a parrot in Canada that tried to tell its owner that his house was being robbed. He's like going, hello, hello. The owner ignored him. And they said, why'd you ignore your bird? Your bird's trying to tell you people are breaking in. He said, yeah, he isn't a reliable source.
Aww.
Didn't a parrot testify in court against a murderer?
Yeah, he did one
Yeah,
time.
he did.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
That's a real thing.
It's real.
Yeah, those things really do talk.
Yeah, they're kind
Smart birds.
of creepy a little bit.
Oh, it is creepy, yeah.
What was the parrot, the one in the court? Did they repeat the actual murder? Is that how it went? When they talked to the parrot, you heard the guy committing the murder?
I think it was like it kept redoing the scream or something like that.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And finally, a guy in California used a case of Bud Light to stop a wildfire from burning his home and shop last week. He says, my buddies all tease me about drinking watered-down beer, and I say, hey, save my shop.
His place was on fire and he put it out with beer?
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know if that's a good ad for Bud Light or a bad ad for Bud Light.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of like that one time I poured Mountain Dew in my car on the engine and it started right up. I'm like, is that good for Mountain Dew? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a positive or negative? I don't know.
Check out KVJ TV on YouTube or just log on to kvjshow.com to watch the show now. Powered by Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Now, back to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
So what are the biggest apps for cheaters? I didn't realize this. They say that WhatsApp is probably best known for helping people to cheat on their significant other. I guess it's just another way of texting, so maybe the texting isn't on your phone. It's more secure.
WhatsApp?
Yeah, WhatsApp.
That's how I can talk to people from the Bahamas. I know I put it on my phone when I went over to the Bahamas because it was a way to be able to speak to people and not have to use your minutes if you didn't have them on international plan situations.
Okay. They said that is definitely one that if you have a cheater on your hands, they likely have one or multiples of these apps that they use frequently. WhatsApp is apparently one of the top ones. Instagram is another one. It's easy to jump into DMs. It is kind of a virtual store to be able to see what other goods are out there. That cheaters seem to love Instagram. The Snapchat apparently is still pretty big with cheaters.
Well, it disappears, but not always. It's supposed to disappear, but I think you can retrieve things.
You can, but then people see that you took like a screenshot of it. It tells people that you took a picture, basically.
Yeah. They say what you do if you suspect that your partner is cheating, check their Snapchat score. The Snapchat score is the number that appears by the user's screen name. You tap the picture and monitor the activity, and if you notice that their score is rising but there aren't any public Snapchats, it might be a red flag.
Oh, there's so many people right now looking at that score.
Right. So that's interesting. You're going, I'm not posting anything because it's disappearing, but that score still goes up.
Why is your score 3.8 million?
Mm-hmm. They say that Snapchat also allows users to see a snap map. If a user has this option turned on, anybody can see their location and who they are with.
Yeah, and you can see where everybody else is, too. Mm-hmm. It shows you all around. Mags is always on that. Oh my gosh, so and so is here.
And then there's the cheaters who don't use any apps. They're just cheating on you old school style.
Yeah. In addition to the WhatsApp, there's one called Black SMS, Protected Texts. It's available on the Apple App Store. And in addition to messages, it allows users to encode and lock messages, videos, pictures, and more with a password or Touch ID. The official description of the app states that the app is for confidential work material, private medical communication, photos, group chats, and relationship advice. Each message on the app is encrypted, and the hidden messages appear as a black box until they're unlocked.
Wow.
If you don't have kids, why are you with somebody? If you're going to go through all that trouble, and I'm just talking about people who cheat, who don't have kids, because you always hear people saying you got to stay together for the kids.
Yeah.
But if you're just with somebody and you're cheating and you're hiding stuff in files and all that, why don't you just break up with that person?
But if you're married, for a lot of people, it's because of the cost of the divorce, and she can get this and get that, and you're like, it's a lot easier. I want to scratch that itch, but I don't have to go through all the financial rigmarole of all this.
You're right. If you're married, but there's people who do that too that aren't married, that hide, but they stay with people. It's weird.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I think it becomes like a pattern for some people, and it's just what they do, and they can never, ever fully just commit to one person because they've never done that.
But why don't they just say that and just say, look,
they like the thrill.
I'm not,
it's an adrenaline rush.
But just date a bunch of people then.
But I think there is a type of person that they want a family life. They want to be able to, hey, you know what? I got something to fill up my time. They don't like being single because they can be lonely. And they don't like that part of it. So they like having a family and a wife. When they want to play family, they've got that. And then when they want to go out and be, racy bachelor, then they cheat and they scratch that itch and have the thrill on the side.
You nailed it. That's it right there. That's it.
Yeah, so they're trying to live life, cake and eat it too. And, that's just really the problem. Doesn't really work that way.
You better make sure you either got a lot of money or a lot of crafty people helping you, because eventually it all falls down like a house of cards.
Yeah, it does, Virginia. Better watch out. That's it. Yeah, I think that it'd be interesting to see what, with the next generation, what cheating will be like. I mean, cheating's always happened. I'm sure it's not going to go anywhere. But I know, at least in American society, things have definitely changed. Where it used to be, you got to go out and you got to find a husband. That's just the way it is. And you got to get married. And then you would see a lot more of those type of atmospheres that I was talking about, where somebody's trying to have the respectable all-American life with a wife and kids, but they still want to be able to run around and have the exciting thrill of the chase and do that. And I think now, hopefully, people are starting to change a little bit.
If that's your thing, just, go on a swinger website. Get with someone that likes that lifestyle.
Well, that's why a lot of those websites are very popular.
Yeah.
Because people can find that. And I know the one thing that first stood out to me was, I remember I went to the Florida-Georgia game one time and was talking to these girls that went to the University of Georgia, and I'd never heard the MRS degree. I'm like going, we're talking to everybody. I'm like, so what are you guys going to school for? And she's like, oh, I'm just trying to get my MRS degree. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. What is that? She's like, oh, I'm just trying to find a husband. Like, that's the only reason I'm here. I just want to find a rich husband. And I was like, I asked somebody about that. They're going, you hear that a lot in the SEC.
Huh.
I was like, how about that? So there's still some places that are old school. And I thought it was kind of interesting over Twitter over the weekend. There used to be a magazine called McCall's. In fact, it was around till like the early 2000s. Maybe you remember, but back in 1958, they did an article called 129 Ways to Get a Husband. It's pretty amazing and an interesting look back to the year 1958. So what was it like back in the 50s trying to find a husband? Apparently that was just something you were supposed to do if you're a woman in America. There's McCall's magazine came out with an article called 129 Different Ways to Get a Husband. And on Twitter over the weekend, people were posting up some of the different things that were on the article. This is what they used to recommend. If it was 1958, they would be like going, you need to find a husband, ladies. Here's what you need to do. They would recommend, for instance, like wear a Band-Aid. People always ask what happened.
Oh, my.
That's a peacocking move right there.
That is, yeah. Another recommendation they had, stand in a corner and cry softly. Chances are good that he'll come over to find out what's wrong.
No way, it's drama right there.
Oh, man.
Run.
Talk about baggage.
Run.
They said, get lost at a football game.
Seems safe.
Okay. In 1958, just go in there with all those men, and you're just, I'm lost.
Get lost in a football.
What?
So you're fake getting lost is what you're doing.
You're faking getting lost, yes, to find a husband.
So you're starting off with a lie.
Starting off with a lie. This is how they used to woo men in 1958. McCall's Magazine also recommended getting a job demonstrating fishing tackle in a sporting goods store.
That could sell the men. The men go there, Virginia.
That's right. Where you find men. They also said maybe learn to paint and then set up an easel outside an engineering school.
What? That's so random.
Talk about random. Another piece of advice they had, they just said simply get a sunburn. What?
What happened? What happened to your skin?
Oh, okay. So you're just doing anything to open the door up for a man to have conversation with you.
Basically, Facebook fish.
Okay. And they said read the obituaries to find eligible widowers.
Oh, boy.
Gosh.
That's dark.
What a terror. Who published it? The Cosmo of the 50s?
It was the Cosmo of the 50s called McCall's that actually somehow sputtered along until the year 2002, then finally went out of publication.
Because guys love it when girls have a Band-Aid. Oh, what happened with that wound on you?
What's going on there? Are you seeping?
What a dumb list. Maybe it made sense in the 50s. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's the 50s, man. What lies do you think everybody hears in their different profession? I was thinking about this because, whenever you go to the dentist, they always ask, so are you flossing all the time? And this was maybe the last time where I didn't really have to lie because I was really making sure that every day in between visits I was doing the flossing thing because it's a pandemic. I had nothing else to do, right? So, you're able to really focus on things like flossing because you got nothing else going on in your life. And they go, wow, this is great. You did so well this time. And before I would maybe miss a day here or there with the flossing, and then you'd be going, no, I'm pretty much every single day.
I do it twice a day.
Right. And I'm like, so what are the lies that every single profession hears? I'm sure with a dentist, your number one is how much people claim they floss. It's got to be the top lie you hear all the time because you're doing the flossing if you're a dental hygienist and they're bleeding all over the place.
Exactly.
It looks like murder.
I swear, I've been flossing, Doc.
Right.
No, you haven't.
You pulled out a piece of turkey from Thanksgiving
Yeah.
in the back tooth.
When the doctor asks you, so how much do you drink a week? Oh, just once a month.
I started thinking of all the lies I tell, and I knew that was at the doctor. They always ask, like, so how often do you drink and how much? Like, maybe a drink or two a week.
Well, I've seen the chart. What they say is an alcoholic. I'm on that chart.
Right. So I'm like, that's got to be maybe one of the tops for doctors. I don't know. Do people still lie about the smoking thing?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Really?
People lie, and you can tell they're lying because they smell like smoke.
And they're meanwhile telling the doctor, I don't smoke, and they got
yeah.
yellow teeth, and they got the lines on their face. Yeah, I was thinking about some of the other ones. I'm sure when it comes to the phone company, how many times have you completely destroyed your phone? You take it in there, and you're like going, I don't know what happened. I just dropped it one time, and the phone is beaten all to heck.
I can't get away with that lie. They know. Every phone I've ever brought in, they go, dude, you've gone through something.
This phone has been in water, hasn't it?
They just look at me. They just look at me and go, dude.
So what lies do you always hear in your profession? Anything that we left off the list, 877-979-WRMF. You can hit us up here on the KVJ show.
97.9 WRMF knows those bills are piling up. So, get your bills paid for up to 6 months.
Oh my God, you're kidding!
Got a car payment? We'll handle it for 6 months.
I'm so excited, you have no idea.
That pesky electric bill got you down? We can pay that too.
Thank you!
Download our 97.9 WRMF app or just go to WRMF.com. Listen while you work, and one grand prize winner gets up to 6 months of bill relief. Up to $2,500 maximum. Get official rules at WRMF.com.
Oh my God!
Powered by Epic Records and 97.9 WRMF. The best variety of the 2000s, 10s, and today.
So what is the lie that you often get from your profession? I could see this happening a lot, obviously, at dentists. People saying that they floss. They're not flossing. People say that they don't drink that much to doctors. Oh, if you see somebody from the KVJ show and we tell you, maybe have a drink a week. Yes, that's not true.
Oh, gosh. If
That means I'm hammered at least once a week.
Yeah.
That's really what that means. So what would you say are the lies that you get? I know sometimes with radio, you'll ask somebody, be like, hey, didn't I see you just come up to the table and get like 5 prizes? No, I haven't been here at all.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, I mean, all right, you go ahead and take it. Go ahead. It's a keychain. Have at it. Yeah, so what are the biggest lies that you hear? Nicole T said, surgical tech here at Mount Sinai, biggest lie is that they say they never had surgery, then they get put to sleep. Yeah. And maybe we can tell by your scars.
Why would
AKA
you-
a mommy makeover.
Why do you lie about having surgery?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you're embarrassed. You don't want to talk about it.
Oh, that you got a mommy makeover?
Yeah.
You talk about it.
I don't care.
You talk a little too much.
I'll pull out my scar. I'll put it on you.
Like, let's say, for instance, you're going in to get maybe some kind of like plastic surgery procedure or cosmetic procedure.
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's the first time I've ever been in here.
I've never had a nard reduction.
Is that really a thing? Because we need to sign you up.
I'm sure it is, and my nards are in their prime. Why don't you step off?
I knew this would be one. As a police officer, when I or other officers pull over a suspected DUI, how many drinks have you had? The response is always 2.
Always 2 beers.
Always 2. Somebody said, as a plumber, when people say that they don't flush wipes or when a toilet line is clogged, they're like, oh, no, I don't flush wipes. And then you go into the toilet and it's just crammed full with wipes.
Bunch of wipes.
I bet, though, you were talking earlier about the dentist. I bet they hear the most lies from people.
As far as like what people's dental hygiene
Yes,
is.
I think most of the people in there, they probably hear so many lies. You don't smoke, do you?
Somebody said, as a probation officer, my favorite excuse is I didn't use heroin or cocaine. Somebody must have put it in my tea.
That's a common problem I hear.
Oh, man. Yeah, it wasn't me. Somebody said, I'm a server, and on 2 different occasions in 2 different restaurants, I've had somebody order a cheeseburger with no onions because they're allergic, then look me dead in the face and order onion rings for a side.
Are you kidding me?
Well, you know why they're doing that?
No, why?
Because they desperately do not want onions on their burger. They've been burned before, even when they've asked somebody not to put onions on it. So they have to go to desperate measures, a big time, like, I'm allergic to it. So they know not to put them on the burger because fried onions are different than raw onions.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Thank goodness we had an onion expert in here, Virginia. I had no idea.
He's also an expert when it comes to special orders.
That's what it's about, special orders.
Yeah.
And if you've been burned so many times, you get desperate with how you order.
Okay, what we would have done without you. All right, it is Monday. You need a little bit of that Monday perspective. Jay Bird is thankfully here to give us a little bit of balance before we get to the After the Show podcast. A nice little thought here, Jay Bird. If you would, please take it away, my friend.
Thinking is difficult.
Yes.
That's why most people judge.
Okay.
Interesting, Bird.
Yeah.
Very enlightening.
So wise. I'm not sure if Virginia feels it.
I don't understand it.
That means it's working.
Yeah. You got Virginia.
Confucius says.
All right. Confuse us.
Confuse us, say.
Coming up in just about 10 minutes, you're going to catch us live on Facebook. Also on that podcast app, you have got it. Your chance to dial it all in. We got the After the Show podcast on the way.
Watch the KVJ Show live or on demand. Find us on youtube.com/KVJ Show.